2024, man, 6 weeks out. How many of you guys won? How many of you guys lost? Because in this video, I'm gonna help you guys make sure that you start 2025 off with a strong start, and so that you win right out the freaking gate. How's that sound? How many of you guys wanna kick 2025 off with some massive wins? All right, I'm gonna break that down. I'm gonna break down a strategy for you guys in this video. And just transparency, I just recorded this, but the audio didn't record, so this is my second time through. But hey, let's dive in and just get cut right to the chase on this one, okay? For those of you guys that are new, I'm Jeremiah Sullivan, former Army Ranger. I was a small town kid, very shy. I was a quitter in life, college dropout. I used to wash dishes as a kid, and I went from that to Army Ranger in the 75th. I was an infantry officer, and then I was an infantry commander, ran 100 miles in the Colorado Rockies, got out, and now I'm living my purpose, which is to make you guys the best versions of you. I help people, with getting the body transformation that they want. I help them get the life transformation that they want and the business transformation that they want. All right, and I do that through online coaching and also in-person events. So let's dive in. I had this client when I first started coaching, and he was a guy like many of us had fallen into some complacency. Okay, he was fat, he was drinking, he was a stud, and then he turned into a dud. That happens with a lot of people in life. Okay, and it is one of the worst places to be in a spot where you got complacent, like complacency quicksand. You're standing there and you start to sink in. It's a little bit comfortable, and you start sinking in. You sink in, you sink in. Next thing you know, you're fucking stuck, man. Complacency quicksand. That's exactly what it is, And that happened to him. So he got fat, he was drinking, and it beat him up. He didn't like who he was when he looked in the mirror. He hated himself. He had a business. He was a business owner. He had a family. He was a family man. And he felt like he was letting everybody down, his business and his family. And that's a shitty place to be, man. Okay? He lacked discipline. He lacked the winner's mindset. He lacked that killer mentality, and he hated it because, like I said, he had been the killer before. So he came to me because he wanted to turn his life around. He wanted to get himself back on track. He wanted to drop the weight, and he had always wanted to run an ultra endurance run. And we were in Colorado. Well, he hit me up, and he did like a 6-month contract, and in there he was like, "I want to run an ultra. There's one in 3 months. Can we do it?" And I said, "Yeah, we can do it. I can get you ready for that." He's like, when's the last time you trained, right? And he hadn't trained. But come to find out, he hadn't trained for like 2 years. But I knew this guy, he could turn it around quick if we put an aggressive plan into place. And thing is he got sick. And then he also, work got in the way, and he let the holidays consume him. And so he started procrastinating. And the next thing you know, we were 2 weeks out from the race, and he still hadn't done any training. And I said, "Dude, what the fuck is going on? Are we going to do this thing or what?" Well, signing up for the race was nerve-wracking for him anyway. But I knew I helped him create the goal, because during our first coaching call, I had him uncover what his problems were, what his challenges were, and what we could do together to help him feel like he was that stud, to make him feel like he was getting back on track, like he wasn't complacent. And the race came out during that coaching call. And so, I knew it was important to him. And so we did two things, really, to make him commit to the goal and see it through. We made it meaningful, okay? And we made it about re-establishing himself as a stud, re-establishing himself as a winner, and the second thing is re-establishing himself as a family man. Okay, now this is all going to help you guys in 2025. Trust me, there's a point to this. The point is 2 weeks left to this race, and he does a couple of runs leading into it, but he's super underprepared. But so he asked me, he's like, "Do you think I'm gonna be able to finish this thing?" And I said, "Yes. Let's focus on the mindset coaching. Let's focus on the mindset that you need to go into this thing." So that's what we did, and we kept reinforcing what the race symbolized for him, what it meant to him personally, and what it meant to him within his family. It meant getting out of complacency. It meant being a good father. It meant not settling for average. And so, he went out and he ran that race, and his why and his mentality was enough to pull him through that 50K race. Okay, I believe it was 50K. I know it was an ultra. I believe it was 50K, 30-something miles. His name was Mike, man. Really one of my favorite stories. I was there with him at the finish line. I had flown back in from Texas. I knew he was doing that race that day. And as he was finishing it, I freaking drove all the way to the race, and I got to see him right after he crossed the finish line. And it was snowing, and it was a blizzard when he did that race. He was in tears, man. His family was proud of him. His kids were there when he saw him complete that race. Point is up until this point, Mike was, he saw himself as a guy that got complacent. He saw himself as a loser. He saw himself as a guy that quit on himself. And he had the identity of somebody that didn't follow through, and the identity of somebody that quits. And so the thing that got him on track was that we created something for him to complete that was unfinished business for him. This is the kicker, guys, for 2025. This is your strategy. Going into 2025, you guys need to finish this year as somebody that goes through and completes your unfinished business. The race was unfinished business for Mike. It was he had wanted to run in a race before like that, an ultra before, and he kept putting it off and kicking the can down the road. But once we completed that race, well, motivation through the roof, identity completely shifted. He had his fire back. He checked the block on unfinished business, and he became a finisher. He became a winner. He became that guy again. And that's what many of you guys need. All of you guys need going into 2025 is you need to shift your identity. Do not go out and close out this year being somebody that doesn't complete the things that they set out. Be that person that goes through the finish line and checks the block. Be the finisher. The unfinished business in your life is one of the fastest ways to completely shift your identity. The thing is, in life, when you go for something, you tell yourself a story about whether or not you're going to be able to complete it, right? You build up a story in your head. If you have the story that you're a quitter in your mind, you're going to quit on the path. You need to believe that you're a finisher. You need to believe that you are the person that completes everything that you set out. That is how you're going to really win in 2025. You're going to shift your identity and fulfill a new prophecy, the prophecy that you're a fucking winner. And I can only teach you guys this stuff because it's what I've been through. One of the things that I had unfinished business with was my personal training certification when I was in high school. Crazy. It's like a $400 or $500 course, and it was a gift for graduation. But I never completed it right out of high school. And so it hung in the back of my head for years, almost 5 years, until I ended up going green to gold. I went back to college, and I said, dude, I'm going to finish this damn certification before the semester starts. And I completed it, and when I did, I was so damn proud of myself. I saw myself as that person that completes what they set out, the person that says what they're going to do and does it. And that became part of my core being, my identity. And so then from there forward, this new identity will reinforce itself through your daily actions. When you don't want to do something, you will tell yourself that you are a person that finishes. You are a person that completes the task at hand, that gets it done. Guys, as we close out in 2024, look back on this year, whatever commitments that you made to yourself at the beginning of the year and you gave up on, or whatever commitments you're close to right now and you're thinking about compromising on, do not go into 2025 with unfinished business. Check that block and become somebody that fucking wins. Change that identity this year, and when you go into 2025, bring a fucking brand new you into the year. Don't bring this old, less than version of you into the new year. I love you guys. Conquer all.